All right, I'm going to do a quick tutorial or review of how to reduce or simplify fractions using what we call the ladder or the cake method, and it's really easy. So all you're going to do is take your numerator and denominator and list them in that order. Numerator first and denominator second. Hold on, guys. Let me get the pen pulled up. Numerator first and denominator second, and list it on what we call a rung or a ladder. And think of anything you know that will go into 42 and 56. I don't care what it is. 2 will go into it, both of them, because they're both even. I know 6 will go into both of them. Not 6, but 7 will go into both of them. So I'm just going to start off and use 7. I'm going to go back and use 2 in just a minute. And I'm going to show you it doesn't matter which one you start off with. Just pick a number that will go into both the numerator and denominator. So even if you choose 7, start off with 7. And you think, well, how many times will 7 go into 42? Or what is 42 divided by 7? It's 6. So you write 6 underneath the 42. And then you go, and 7 times what will give you 56? Well, that would be 7 times 8, or you can say 56 divided by 7 is 8. And you draw another piece of the ladder, draw another rung. Now, is there a number that will go into 6 and 8? Well, 6 and 8 are both divisible by 2. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3, or you can say 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times what gives you 8? 2 times 8 is 4. Now, what is the only number that will divide into 3 and 4? The only number that will divide into 3 and 4 is 1. Once you get to that, then you just stop. What you do is you stop and you look at the numbers on the bottom, and it actually tells you what the numerator is and denominator is of your simplified fraction. So to simplify 42 over 56, it's just 3 fourths. That's how to simplify using the cake or ladder method. You just look at the numbers on the bottom of the rung. But the numbers on the bottom of the rung, you will only get once. The only thing that will go into them is the number 1. Like 1 is the only thing that will divide into 3 and 4. So you stop. You're done. And you just look at the numbers on the bottom. Now, what if you chose to start off with, instead of a 7, you notice that 2 will go into both of these. Well, 2 goes into 42 21 times, and 2 goes into 56 28 times. You just cut them in half. And then to think of a number that will go into 21 and 28. Well, 7 will divide into 21 3 times, and 7 will go into 28 4 times. The only number that will go into a 3 and a 4 is 1, so you're done. So these are the numbers that make up the numerator and denominator in your simplified fraction. That's it. So it doesn't matter what you divide by to start off with. What matters is what you end up with at the bottom. Like once you get to the two numbers that will only divide by 1, you're done. Those two numbers make up your numerator and denominator of your simplified or reduced fraction. All right, let's take a look at 34 over 51. I know 34, I can do 1 times 34 and 2 times 17. 51, I can do 1 times 51 and 3 times 17. So no, 17 will go into both of them. How many times would 17 go into 34? 2. How many times would 17 go into 51? 3. Now, the only number that will divide into 2 and 3 is 1, so I'm done. This is my numerator of my simplified fraction. This is my denominator. So this simplifies to 2/3. All right, let's take a look at example 3. Remember, keep them in order, numerator first and denominator second. Think of a number that will go into 12 and 84. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to go with 2. Both of them are even. I'm going to go with 2. Half of 12 is 6, and half of 84. Even if you have to go over here and do this, Half of 84 is 42. Okay? Now think of a number that will go into 6 and 42. So some people will notice 6 off the top, but some people won't. Some people might notice 3. If you notice 3, then you keep working. But I noticed 6 will go into both of them. Well, 6 goes into 6 once, and 6 goes into 42 7 times. But now the only number that will go into 1 and 7 is a 1. So I'm done. I stop right here. This makes my numerator, and this makes my denominator in my simplified fraction. So this simplifies to 1 over 7. All right, let's take a look at example 4. Example 4, they have something in common already, the numerator and denominator. If the numerator and denominator have a factor that they already have in common, just cancel them out. So I'm going to cancel out those square roots of 5. So I'm left with 10 over 45. And the only thing I put in my ladder is 10 and 45. Well, I know that 5 will go into 10 2 times, and 5 will go into 45 9 times. And the only number that will go into a 2 and a 9 is 1, so I'm done. This becomes my numerator, and this becomes my denominator. So this fraction simplifies to 2 over 9. And that's all you do. Now I'm going to go back and work this one. I'm going to work this one a different way. So 12 and 84. So I start off with 2 again. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 84 42 times. And suppose you notice 3 goes into both of those. 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 goes into 42. It's going to be 3 into 42. And I know 3 goes into 42 because the digits in 42, if you add them together, you get 6. And 6 is divisible by 3. So the whole 42 is divisible by 3. That's how I know that. 3 goes into 42 14 times. Now, a number that goes into 2 and 14 is another 2. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 14 7 times. The only number that goes into 1 and 7 is a 1, so I'm done. That's my numerator, and this is my denominator. So again, I'm just trying to reiterate the fact that it doesn't matter what you start off dividing by or what you continue to divide by. Like here, I divided by 2, a 3, and a 2. Here, I only divided by 2 and a 6. We will still end up with the same simplified fraction, okay? All right, that's it, guys. Thanks.